The state of a person's living space is often seen as a direct reflection of their inner world. However, the connection between a home environment and an individual's psychological state is complex and multifaceted. This exploration examines the various factors that may contribute to a disordered home, based on observational studies and psychological concepts, without offering prescriptive advice. A common perception links a messy room to laziness or a lack of personal discipline. While this can be a factor, it is often an oversimplification. The reality is that the condition of our homes can be influenced by a wide range of circumstances, from daily stress and busy schedules to deeper psychological patterns. For many, a demanding job, family responsibilities, or a simple lack of energy at the end of the day can lead to household chores being postponed. This accumulation of small, undone tasks can gradually create a state of disarray. Decision fatigue is a recognized concept that may play a role. Throughout the day, individuals make numerous choices, from what to wear to how to handle complex work tasks. This constant decision-making can deplete mental resources. When faced with the seemingly endless choices involved in tidying, what to keep, what to discard, where to put things, a person may feel overwhelmed and opt to do nothing at all. The home becomes a space where the pressure to make yet another decision is avoided. The physical environment can also mirror an individual's emotional state. During periods of low mood, sadness, or heightened stress, the motivation to engage in activities like cleaning can significantly decrease. In these instances, a messy space is not the cause of the emotional distress, but rather a symptom of it. The energy required to maintain order is redirected toward managing internal emotional challenges. For some, the external chaos feels congruent with their internal feelings, creating a sense of familiarity, even if it is not a positive one. Procrastination is another key element. Often, procrastination isn't about avoiding the task itself, but about avoiding the feelings associated with the task. For someone who finds cleaning boring, overwhelming, or a reminder of other pressures, putting it off becomes a way to manage those negative emotions, albeit temporarily. The longer the task is delayed, the larger it seems, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. This is not necessarily a sign of a character flaw, but a common human behavior pattern in response to aversion. Perfectionism can paradoxically contribute to a messy environment. A perfectionist might have an all-or-nothing mindset. If they don't have the time or energy to clean their entire home to their exacting standards, they may choose not to start at all. The thought of an imperfectly done job is more stressful than the thought of a completely undone job. This can lead to paralysis, where the desire for an ideal outcome prevents any practical steps from being taken. The pile of laundry remains because the perfect time to wash, dry, fold, and put it all away never seems to arrive. Object attachment also influences the level of clutter in a home. Many objects carry sentimental value, representing memories, relationships, or past versions of oneself. The difficulty in parting with these items, even if they are no longer useful, can lead to accumulation. This isn't just about the physical object. It's about the fear of losing the memory or identity attached to it. Every item can represent a story, and the process of decluttering can feel like letting go of parts of one's personal history. Executive functioning challenges can also be a significant factor. Executive functions are the set of mental skills that include working memory, flexible thinking, and self-control. These skills are essential for planning, organizing, and completing tasks. When these functions are impaired, for any number of reasons, maintaining an orderly home can become exceptionally difficult. The process of breaking down a large task like clean the kitchen into smaller, manageable steps, clear the counters, wash the dishes, wipe the surfaces can be a struggle. From a neurological perspective, some individuals are more sensitive to sensory input than others. For these people, a highly organized, minimalist environment can feel stark and understimulating. A degree of visual clutter, such as stacks of books, collections of objects, or various works in progress, can provide a level of sensory engagement that feels comfortable and creatively inspiring. In these cases, what one person perceives as mess, another might experience as a rich, stimulating, and personalized environment. The definition of messy is therefore subjective and depends heavily on individual sensory processing and personality. It is also observed that a person's relationship with their home can change over time. A space that was once kept meticulously might fall into disarray during a difficult life transition, such as the loss of a job, a change in relationship status, or a period of grieving. Conversely, a previously cluttered space might become more orderly as an individual moves into a new phase of life that allows for more time and mental energy to be dedicated to their environment. The home is not a static entity, but a dynamic space that evolves with the person living within it. In some contexts, a messy desk or workspace is associated with creativity. Research has explored the idea that disorderly environments may encourage breaking from tradition and gaining fresh insights. A study published in Psychological Science found that participants in a messy room generated more creative ideas than their counterparts in a tidy room. This suggests that for certain types of thinking, an environment free from rigid structure might be more conducive to innovation. The conventional association between tidiness and positive outcomes like productivity is not always universally applicable. Furthermore, societal and cultural expectations play a role in how a messy home is judged. There is often a significant amount of pressure, particularly conveyed through media and advertising, to maintain a pristine, picture-perfect home. This can create feelings of shame or inadequacy for those who do not meet this standard. It's important to recognize that lived-in homes naturally show signs of daily life. The distinction between a temporarily untidy room and a chronically disorganized space is a critical one, and the judgment placed upon it is often shaped by external social norms rather than the occupant's actual well-being. The concept of clutter blindness describes a phenomenon where a person becomes so accustomed to the state of their surroundings that they no longer consciously register the mess. The piles of paper and unused items become part of the familiar landscape of the room, and the brain filters them out as irrelevant background information. This is an adaptive mechanism to prevent sensory overload, but it can also contribute to the persistence of a cluttered state, as the individual no longer perceives the need for action. Ultimately, the state of a home is a piece of a much larger puzzle that makes up a person's life. It is influenced by a complex interplay of psychological, emotional, neurological, and situational factors. Observing a messy room offers a single data point, not a complete picture of the person who inhabits it. Understanding these underlying connections allows for a more nuanced and compassionate perspective on the relationship between people and their personal spaces. Experiences differ between households, and what constitutes a functional and comfortable environment is unique to each individual. The psychology of a messy home is not a story of failure, but a human story of competing priorities, emotional states, and the simple realities of daily living.